Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for being here and for sharing this presentation with us. We are Catalina Mahé, and I am Daniel Nadal from the School of Architecture and Design at the University of Los Andes in Bogotá, Colombia. We shall present the results of a 16-week master course focused on the research of heritage buildings that are in some state of abandonment or disuse and need a new reading and approach to recover them. We developed a different strategic methodology to make this research, assuming a new way of understanding architecture. We shall follow a classic roadmap to summarize the main points of this experience. The first four to explain the context and the methodology, and the following to share results and to open the debate. The central theme has to do with the understanding of the contemporary role of architecture and the new dynamics associated with it. So, just a second. These contemporary design methodologies require mechanisms capable of producing system integration based on transdisciplinary approaches, as opposite to static systems. The conception and the idea that we have is that the project is no longer just about focused design, but about transversal operational strategies. So this is what we are gonna discuss. This is what we are going to introduce. This is a design laboratory for the master's degree in architecture at the University of Los Andes. And in this laboratory, we have experimented with tools and instruments that diversify research processes through architectural projects. The course integrates design thinking approaches with transversal readings, theories, and strategies for project thinking in architecture to develop these methodologies. So we have just start to work based on this theoretical framework with research that aims to better understand the meaning and the role of a different project methodology in operational strategies, project methodologies, design thinking, systemic design, and transdisciplinary narratives. These are our references. We have these two first books that has to do with the project in architecture and with some of the tools that we have been using in the research. And there's a third book that has to do with 6 proposals for this millennium. And we have been just working as a vertical structure that joins our experience in these project approaches that has to do with lightness, speed, accuracy, visibility, multiplicity, and the art of starting, the art of finishing this project. So this is the theoretical and the reference that it's making like the core of our course. The course is developing conceptual keys just to address and to establish complex project strategies. The approach responds to the integrative value of 3 key aspects. This is the systemic one, the technical one, and the integral one. So it fosters a collaborative approach to strategy design in an integral project. So we are just starting to develop these areas and these different keys just to join and to make an approach from the multidisciplinary framework and just to discover the integrality of the whole project of the architecture. So through the course, the students develop different approaches to projects where the architects build responses as all the possible tactics that make up advanced intervention strategies. So I think that Catalina can explain now like this theoretical framework and how it's working now.
Thank you, Daniel. To continue with the methods and the strategy of this course, we worked with 3 case studies in Bogota and with heritage buildings. The first one is Palo Quemao, it's a market square. The second is the La Sabana, is an X-train station. And Jorge Luis Gaitán is an unfinished cultural center. And we worked in 3 groups of students, and we work with them with these projects in this course. And we work with you can continue, please, Daniel, and this roadmap in which we work with 4 transversal models that have been tested in relation to the architectural project. As Daniel said, it was images, diagrams, analogies, and tactics. Each of these modules implies a transdisciplinary approach to architectural design. We are going to see the develop of each one of these modules. The image serves as a research instrument and a creation methodology. The diagram as a codification strategy and definition of operational structures. Analogy as a method of approaching and non-architectural references. And at the end, tactics as a proposal for a systemic approach. When we are going to develop the first module, images, the first exercise was an immersive experience focusing on the use of images as a tool for documentation and research. Live drawing was the first approach, allowing details, moments, and colors to flow in a direct axis between eye, hand, and black paper. This not only captured images, but also deepened the understanding of the context and diagrams. We're going to see some images of the work of the done for the students in this first part. After the draw, we developed the image with the photography. The photography was used as a means to explore and investigate the subject of the study. With assistance from a photography teacher, the students produced a photography essay consisting of 3 photos, each group, accompanied by text. The narrates of the story of the building and its present condition, reflecting the unique sensitive of each group. After this, the photographic essay, this is an example of the exercise made for one of these 3 groups of the course. In the next images, we can appreciate the works and the sensitive of the students through the image to understand the architecture and to understand the empty spaces and heritage. We can see some of the activities in the classroom and the ways in which we create these dynamics to talk about the image and the meaning of the image to understand the architecture. In the second exercise, we focused on understanding the actors and users of the building through the abstraction of the dynamics and the object. The students began the abstraction by creating a discursive image through a collage. We are seeing some examples of these exercises. In the second module, we developed diagrams, and the collage was used to inspire the transformation of the object of study into a dynamic diagram to read the relationships between actors and space in the present and the visions of these dynamics towards the future. It was very important, and we work in the classroom, but after that, the students work in groups in their houses. And also, the students created some texts to complement the diagrams. And the article which that we are working to create this presentation have some texts produced by the students. We could individuate the importance of the diagrams and develop. You can continue. We can see these images of the diagrams like results of the exercise made by the students. In the third module, we work with analogies. In the third exercise, the analogy tool was introduced to approach the project from a different point of view. As proposed by Camilo Muñoz in the book El Proyecto Arquitectura, the theory of synthetical thinking based precisely on analogy empowers the students to consciously use a pre-conscious mechanism consisting of the free associations between entirely different objects. And also, this conceptual model of the process and final conceptual model generated from non-architectural references give us and give to students by exploring non-architectural references, and students could observe their subject from a different perspective and propose a vision for the future inspired by solutions from various fields outside architecture. Each group participated in a class designed for the students integrated by the course and received advice and ideas from outsiders who were encountering the object of study for the first time. The exercise involved constructing conceptual models to investigate the free associations that emerged from these non-architectural references. These tactics help to conclude the course. This fourth exercise aims to draw some conclusions by developing tactical strategies through a systematic and multidisciplinary approach. The various strategies created by the students primarily involves changes in building management, the introduction of new participants and uses, and the use of interactive diagrams to convey the idea of a building not as something static material space, but a dynamic environment activated by the people who inhabit it. Additionally, beyond the written text and final presentation of each module, students were encouraged to use different media to express their developed strategies. This could include a photo essay that summarizes their plan, or a poster, like is the example we are looking this moment, that a poster that imagine a new inauguration of the building along with these scheduled activities. There are other examples that present the students at the end of the course.
So after this exhibition, this presentation of all the results of our course that Catalina has been explaining us, we can just finally express the discussion that we would introduce. Primarily, these interconnected systems are projects in themselves. I think that the result of all this research is a methodology of dynamic processes. So we are just working through compression, abstraction, and simulation, and transforming these project strategies. I think that it means that we are transforming how we look at things, especially when we are just talking about design, or where we are just talking about architecture, and the way that we are just approaching the design options, the design systems. So secondly, it means that seeing architecture as this assembly of extensible capacities and energies, not only as an object, mean that architecture is not an inert, some kind of moldable object. So we are just thinking once and again about this strategy. And finally, about the idea of the designer, the idea of the architect, that is not solely a producer of forms, a producer of objects, but it's a strategist of design processes. So the focus and the main discussion is the exploring, or we are just exploring the potential of non-disciplinary disciplinary approaches in architectural research and also in design processes. So we pretend to focus on how this kind of experimental laboratories can be used as a research through architecture and design. It's not just the architecture, the research, but it's the vehicle. We can just research through architecture, we can just research through design using non-disciplinary approaches. The second idea is that the factor that we have been just introducing is that the traditional pedagogical systems for research in architecture often lack the flexibility that we need to explore the contemporary architectural and design dynamics. So we are just trying to focus on, first of all, the potential of this research. Second one, how can we discuss this pedagogical, it's quite a difficult word for me. And the third one is that we think that it's essential to incorporate diverse methodological strategies in architectural research to enhance the impact of project processes. So we can just develop new project processes, we can just develop new ways of research, and we can just explore a new way to teach architecture. So these are some ideas that we want to conclude with, and are some ideas for the future. Analyze the possibility of transferring methodologies to postgraduate laboratories. We are just showing the results of a master course, but I think that maybe we can just start to think in undergraduate teaching environments. The second idea for the future is that we think that we can explore how this project, these transversal methodologies can be adapted to a new strategic design processes to foster greater creativity and diversity. It means in our professional work, on our professional surroundings, but also in the academic spaces that we are just working at. And finally, maybe we ought to propose a redefinition of architecture and design based on these innovative methodologies. Maybe we are just talking about another kind of design, and maybe we are just, we need to reformulate the principal idea of architecture. Well, okay, I have some troubles. I think that with that, we have just finished. So thank you very much. Hope that this video is pretty strange. What do you think, Catalina? But maybe just in the Congress we can discuss that.
Yes, I know. We would like to thank you for the attention, and we wait that you appreciate that methodologies that we are working in this course.
So thank you very much.